Hey y'all, welcome to Rach Talk, my weekly show where I sit here, drink caffeine, and talk about random things. This week, I'm talking about Noah's artwork. Oh, a whole long thing about getting a bikini wax. Jack's very embarrassed. I'm going on vacation next week with my booze family. And I lost a toenail. I'm wearing a real bra right now, which is pretty unfortunate, pretty uncomfortable. Because, if you get low enough, Jack, you can't wear the sports bra because then, it shows. And I know you're not going to tell me if my bra starts showing. I was thinking just now, I'm like, I should just come out sometime, intentionally put something really obnoxious in my teeth and see if you tell me. Because you won't. You'll just let me, you'll do, and then, edit the video and never see it. And then I'll be like, Jack, I literally, that happened recently where, we had to, zoom in on the whole thing because, my pants were unzipped or something crazy and you, didn't notice. Eventually, you're going to have a videos, just my mouth. My boyfriend's out of town right now, so I am taking advantage of his absence to wear my retainer. He called me unexpectedly the other day and I had to get it out, but it's been so long since I put my retainer in that it was so tight on my mouth. And so it took me a minute to get it out. And then by the time I turned on the FaceTime, he was like, "What's happening?" I'm like, I had to take my retainer out. He was like, "You have a retainer?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why don't you ever wear that when I'm around?" I'm like, "'Cause I want you to still love me." I mean, obviously. Do you have a retainer, Jack? Mm-hmm. Y'all have a retainers?
Mine are permanent, yeah.
Wait, you have permanent retainers? Mm-hmm. Does food get stuck in it?
Not really.
Explain to me what
like normal.
Wait, what is it where you put the wire behind your teeth?
Yeah.
Oh, I never did that. I should have. Because it's this tooth. And when I see it? Rach Talk. When I have to watch an edited video, because Dak will send me the edited video and I'm like, oh, this thing's crazy or you can't understand. Whatever. It's a group effort is what I'm saying. And I can always tell I haven't been wearing my retainer because this tooth right here will start to slowly go backwards and there's a shadow. Do you ever feel like it's never ending the upkeep of human life? And by human life, I mean lashes, nails, retainers. Jack, I would love to compare the amount of upkeep I have to the upkeep you have. I would love it. Yours is what, 30 seconds? Yeah, mine's just constant. I'm I just did this. Actually, big, not having nail polish is a huge thing in my life. I do wish I need a little manicure right now. It looks a little rough. I gave myself a mani-pedi the other night. Another thing that happened because Boo was out of town. And, I wish I knew how to do it like that, how they do it at the place. I'm doing my best, but this is probably, you don't need to know this, but I'm going to tell you. Did I tell you that I lost a toenail? I still don't know how, okay? I vaguely remember possibly dropping something on my foot. This was a while ago. And that's not unusual because I'm pretty clumsy. I know it's hard to believe because I'm so graceful.
Right now.
But I'm actually very clumsy in real life. I tend to hurt myself a lot. And I dropped something on my foot. Just moved on with my life. I'm sure I had a big dramatic breakdown, cried on the floor, needed someone to hold me, but I moved on. And then the next time I went to get a pedicure, they took the nail polish off and they were like, "Oh, your toe's really bruised, under the nail, it's really bruised." And I was like, "That's wild," but I couldn't remember what I did and it didn't matter anyway until it started to disconnect from its origins, okay? If you've ever lost a toenail, you'll be familiar with this. But it would have been fine, y'all. It would have been fine, except that I ran a marathon. And that was when my toenail said, "It's been nice knowing you, but I'm out." And when you lose a toenail, you gotta start from scratch essentially. But I mean, if someone's grossed out by feet, that you're barfing while you're watching or listening to this. And I'm sorry, I never said that this was going to be classy. I went and my toe was all scary and I was just sort of like, work around it. I just wanted a pedicure. And the guy was like, oh, well, we can put like acrylic or whatever over this to keep it safe and also to make it look like you have a toenail. And I was like, great plan. And I had that for a hot minute. And then last week, my toe it was red. And I was like, that's funny. And then the next day it was really red. And I was like, oh no, I have an infection. Like I'm going to lose my toe. I'm going to lose my big toe because I was vain, because I wanted them to put acrylic on it to cover up the fact that I didn't have a toenail, because I'm still trying to impress Boo. And I'm like, will he still love me if I don't have a toenail? And anyway, it's like was an infection. But then I'm like, I can't go back to the nail salon. I'm like, if this thing's infected, I'm not like giving it to them to do surgery on. Y'all know. He doesn't know because you're not in this world. There is nothing a pedicurist would love more than to just tear out your soul with those tiny, you ever like have an ingrown toenail? And I mean, it is their personal mission. It is like, that is everything that is standing in between them and goodness. And they will work, you're crying, you're throwing yourself backwards in the chair. They do not care. They're like, I got to get it out. You know how when you go at the pedicure people and they like, they squeeze your toe, they're like, does it hurt? You guys know what I'm talking about? To see if you have an ingrown. If you had an ingrown toenail, Jack, if they squeeze it, it'll hurt. 100 times in my life. They've been working on it. I'm like crying because it hurts so bad. And then they'll be like, does it hurt? Yeah, it hurts like a hot poker is being stabbed into my side. And I'm like, no, doesn't hurt. Because I don't want them to keep working. Please leave my toe alone. I'm realizing all of these like non-confrontational moments. This is part of not being a weenie anymore is going to be, anyway. I don't want to take my infected toe to the place to have them because I feel like they're going to make it worse. So I'm here by myself wearing my retainer and I say, we're going to have to figure this out. So I watch a YouTube video and figure out how to take this acrylic off and I'm in my bathroom floor for like an hour the other night, slowly, painstakingly getting this off my toe, only to reveal, what could I even describe that this looks like? I mean, it's a travesty. It's been doctored. It's been peroxided. It's been neosporined. The infection part's gone, so don't worry. I'll be able to keep the toe. But what it looks like right now, what is like I don't have a, if you're a runner and you've ever lost, you understand. Like under a toenail is like just layers of more wannabe toenails, and then they're all growing at different. It's like an onion, Jack.
I'm going to throw up. I think I'm going to throw up.
Don't throw up.
It's just upsetting is what you need to know. And next week I'm going on vacation with my boo and his family. And it's a beach. And that means there is no hiding this toe. So what do I do, Jack? What do I do? Do I paint over my skin and hope that just looks like a toenail? Do you think that? What would you do? You'd be like, hey, people I've met twice that are from another country and are flying to this country to go to a beach. Like, here's my toe. Don't mind me. What would you do?
Amputate.
Get rid of it. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Like a waterproof Band-Aid or something.
And then just hope nobody sees. Yeah. It's pretty. I just figured like sand, ocean, it's going to... we've already talked about this. These people are English. They're like proper and whatever. And I'm already... Why did my toe have to give up on me now? Last week would have been fine. It still had that acrylic on it. Yeah, it was obviously on its way downhill with a pretty serious infection. But also speaking of the beach, I'm going to get a bikini wax. Jack, have you ever had... I would pay $1,000 to just have a video, not of like the whole thing, but just your face while you get a bikini wax.
Deal.
God. I don't know if it would hurt way worse on a guy. Probably. Maybe. I think so, because they're like, you're more sensitive. Do you even know what happens? Do you understand what happens in a bikini wax? Now look, everybody look. I know that you could be like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, because I've had people say this to me. They're like, oh, they'll be like, oh, why? You say that women are beautiful and we love your body and all of those things, but then you like get your bikini. Yeah, bro. I do love my body. I don't want my pubes growing out of my bathing suit when I'm at the beach. I love my body. I don't love my pubes, bro. When I make myself laugh, that's when we know it's the last episode we're shooting today. Anyway, okay, so Jack, you're going to go into a room and probably your waxer has been your longtime waxer and friend, so they're very familiar with you. Back in the beginning of your relationship, they'd leave the room so that you could get undressed. But like at this point, you're old friends, so they don't even need to leave the room. And just like you drop trowel, you get up on a table. If you are modest like me, you still cover the area with a towel. Don't ask me why, because the second she walks up to the table, she's taking the towel off. But you're nude from the waist down, okay? And then they're going to start chatting. Never in my life have I had a waxer who did not chat you up. And I think it's all part of their plan so that you will ignore the fact that hair is about to be ripped out of your vagina. That's what's about to happen. Or in your case, what is going on down there. And then they have like this bowl of like lava temperature wax, and they have like popsicle sticks, and they take and they're like, and they put it on you, and you just start. First of all, you flop sweat. You're sweating out your pits. You're sweating in your butt crack. You're sweating everywhere because you're just like, this is about to be bad. But you're trying to pretend it's not, because she's chatting about the vacation that she took to Port Aransas, and you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing, but you know it's coming. And you're like, don't brace yourself, that'll make it worse. But you can't help that you're going to brace yourself because you know, and then all of a sudden you're just like, and then yeah! And like you can't not react as she rips hair out of your body in strips. Now, if you have a good waxer, there's this place that I used to go to in Los Angeles. It's got to still be there because it had been there for like 30 years or something, called Pink Cheeks on Ventura. Pink Cheeks was famous that they could get you in and out in like 8 minutes. Didn't matter what they were doing. They were like, boom, done every time. My girl's pretty close. I'd say she's like 15, 12. It's a quick situation. But they're waxing you, and some parts, Jack, hurt worse than others. Some parts you're like, man, do that 10 times. I don't care. Didn't feel it. Don't care. Some parts feel like they're literally ripping your soul out of your body with the wax. And then sometimes they don't get all the hair, so then they get tweezers, Jack. And that's what feels like torture. When they're like, oh, they're like, let me just get like a couple that I missed here. And I'm like, no, ma'am. Nope. Leave her. All I'm trying to do is cover up, like, what is if the bathing suit will cover this, leave it be. One time I went to my sister's waxer, and it was someone I had never had before. And that chick, her attitude was like, we'll be friends and I'll chat with you for like 45 minutes. So it's slower and it's like more like gentle and whatever. No, you guys, my hand to the heavens, this chick worked on it for like 25 minutes and I still looked like a Dalmatian. And I was like, leave it. That's what it, and she was like, no, it literally patchy. That's great. This is a look I was going for. We're just going to leave. This is torture. Just leave it. Let it be. Let it be exactly as it is. So that's what you have to look forward to when you get your wax. The question is, do you wax your butt or not? That's the question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Because they can. For those of you who've never gotten one before, they can do your butt, which is possibly the most mortifying, terrible thing. Because in order to get your butt, you got to get on your hands and knees, Jack. The level of how embarrassed you are right now. You never react to my stories either. You're like, and lawyer, that's the harassment I've endured. Yeah, they make you get on your hands and your knees. But weirdly, no, don't confirm this. I don't even know why I'm telling the story. The butt doesn't hurt. Anyone? No? Just me. Okay, I've had it done. It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't. But also why? Why do we need to do that? We don't. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe that makes you feel, no judgment. You want to wax your butt? You wax your butt. I don't need it though. I just want to cover with the bathing suit. That's what I'm looking for. One of the biggest issues with the bikini wax, Jack, I forgot to mention this part, is very important, is that you have to grow it out in order to wax it. It's like 1972. It just is. I'm going to go burn my bra later because it all works, if you know what I'm saying. But that's the only way, because otherwise you're going to wax a little bit and then 2 days later it's going to be like, whew. But then, you got to do something, because shaving is an atrocity. You're going to get all the ingrown hairs. It's going to be back in 2 days. Why? No. Just grow it out until you look like, whatever Gloria Steinem was rocking, and then have it ripped out. Or, what do you guys think about laser? Laser hair removal is something I've thought about for a while, but I'm a weenie, but remember, I'm not going to be a weenie this year. Maybe I need to do laser. But you said it hurt, though.
It's pretty quick.
But it's quick. Have you had a wax before? I'm just worried it's going to feel like I'm getting burned or something. Just like the videos of it where it's stressful. I don't know, being in a bathing suit around your boyfriend's family and I don't know. I don't know why I do know why. I was going to say I don't know why in my brain that being in a bathing suit would suddenly there's just a lot of catastrophes that could happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Boobs could fall out. The pube that the waxer didn't get. I'm just trying to normalize women's bodies. I'm just trying to talk about things that really happen in our lives and not make it taboo. We all have pubic hair. We do. We all have it. Whether you keep it, you go full bush, whether you wax it off, whether you laser it or shave it, it's there. We all have it. Why do we have to pretend like we don't have it? That's why. Someone should make a shirt. If any of you own a screen printing t-shirt company, no, I thought of 4 names for that shirt, and all of them I'm terrified of someone actually getting me a shirt that says free the pubes. Don't do it. Send it to me. P.O. Box. Can you imagine? I mean, the quality of the content of this show. I did have an episode, whenever this episode was, where I was talking about how I couldn't hear in restaurants anymore, and people were like, yes, thank you, recognize for the older crowd who can't hear. And now I'm wondering, what are the other things that happen when you get older that didn't happen when you are, what are the things? You guys comment below, and please, because it would be so funny to talk about these on an upcoming episode. But what are the things that you catch yourself doing that you feel like you're 72 when really you're 39? Do you have anything that makes you feel old, Jack?
I make a noise sometimes when I sit down.
Like a sigh. I make a noise a lot now because I've been doing yoga, and in yoga they like you to when you release a breath, it's so now I do that a lot. So just think of it as your release. What's something you guys are so young. Nothing makes you reminds me of Amy Poehler in Mean Girls. She's
You girls keep me young. I love you so much.
The greatest unsung character of any cinematic anything. Amy Poehler as the mom in Mean Girls. I quote that all the time. It's embarrassing. I did it the other day too. I was on a group text with parents of Jackson's friend. I had never met them. I haven't met their kid, but Jackson was with them, so we were on a group text, and they were like, oh, here's a group text to keep everyone updated on what's happening. And 'cause I'm lame, I sent a gif of Amy Poehler as the mom from Mean Girls saying like, oh God, I love you, keep me young. And then realized like, there's no telling what these, like you just sent it. Who sends a gift to someone they don't know? You gotta know. You gotta know if they're GIF people or not GIF people. Am I saying it right? GIF? It's GIF. We did a debate about this a long time ago. Remember that? Was that on a Rach Talk?
GIF or GIF?
Yeah, it's GIF. But anyway, I sent it and then there was no response. And I was like, well, I guess we can't be friends. If I send a GIF and you don't respond with a GIF, that's the answer. We did have an episode where someone said, how do you make great, close relationship as adults? That's one way. I'm going to send you this. Did you catch my humor? Do you get this joke? Because if not, oh, the ancestors are upset with that. Well, it's just because the door's open and there's all the windows open and so it's slamming. But I'm not, this is 100% me. When something like that happens in my house, I'm like, what did I just say that was upsetting to my spirit guides? And then sometimes I'm like, oh, it just was the door closing because of the wind. And sometimes I'm like, you're right. I did disrespect myself and I shouldn't use that language anymore. What was I talking about? What about Alicia? Oh my gosh, you guys. So we have been collecting stories from our STJ dream catchers. These are people in our Start Today community who have achieved one of the dreams in their Start Today journal. Actually, Caitlin, will you open that door and just like hand me a thank you. So Start Today journals are this thing that I came up with, gosh, ages ago now, based on a practice that I had done in my own notebook at home. And women, especially all over the world, have bought these and use them to every single day write down 5 things that they're grateful for and 10 dreams that they're going to make come true. And when you achieve one of the dreams on your list, we call that a dream catcher because these are dreams. So we've been asking y'all to write in, to send us an email, to send us a video and tell us your Dreamcatcher story. And this week's Dreamcatcher is so special because Alicia Ha is a longtime member of our community. We have watched her flourish and blossom. She came to a conference several years ago and we had a really special experience and we've just watched her elevate and grow. And this is the anniversary of one of her dreams coming true, so we wanted to share this video with you guys.
So the first time I actually came across Rachel and how she impacted my life was when I first read Girl Wash Your Face. It came actually at a very pivotal time in 2017. I actually retired from my professional career as a structural engineer. I've always been a people pleaser, and so I was afraid to actually be me. And then I kind of got really into further into the personal development and started attending conferences.
What's something that you're like, I can't even imagine a world where I would do this?
To actually dance on stage.
And Alicia, you better get right now. Get over here.
I love Zumba.
You love Zumba?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you be a Zumba teacher?
I thought of that.
Oh! If you really worked on it, how long do you think it would take you? I'm asking because I have 10,000 women coming to San Diego in June, and I'm just wondering if you would lead us in a Zumba class.
Oh my God.
I realized that I have a choice to make. In this moment, I can either continue and take up this challenge that Rachel had given me and actually put in the work to do the dang thing that we kind of said, right? And to fully embrace who I am. I needed to take that step. I needed to put one foot in front of the other and give it a shot. I can't even explain how the level of confidence in myself has grown. I can actually now look at myself in the mirror. I can actually look at myself in a camera and actually be proud of who I am and know that that person has always been inside there. I just encourage for every woman out there who has a dream to continue to fight for it, to continue to put one foot in front of the other, to continue to be better today than you were yesterday, because it's in you and she wants to come out. The world is waiting for you.
Alicia, thank you so much for sending in a video. We have got a fabulous gift pack coming your way. Not that you don't already have your journal and stuff, but we got to send Alicia something good. Remember, if you guys have a great story about your dream catcher journey, we would love to hear it. You can send an email to this address or use the hashtag STJDreamCatcher on social media so we can see what you're up to. Okay, real quick, you guys, a little mom moment. My 5-year-old has gotten to the place, holy smokes. So my 5-year-old Noah has gotten to a big place with her artwork. And for any of you who have kids, you're gonna know that this is a thing. When they start to draw humans or like humanoids, because they definitely don't look like humans, it always starts with like a giant head, and then they learn how to like put a smile on it, and then learn how to put like eyes on it. But it's a big deal in a toddler's life when they learn how to draw arms and legs, and Noah Hollis has officially moved on to arms and legs, and I just wanted to show you guys. So this guy, look at the hair. Look, I mean, it's really good. No arms, but little legs, okay? And then here's this guy. My favorite is the fingers, because it looks like a tuning fork. It's pretty special. And also there's some on the refrigerator too, Jack, if you want to get a shot of those. But I just thought that was so sweet, and I wanted to show that off, because now that she knows how to do it, she's drawing them constantly. She's drawing these little creatures, and I keep mailing them to like grandma and friends and family so that they can see what she's up to. So here's to making progress and elevating whatever it is that you're working on in your life, just like Noah. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope it made you laugh. I hope you learned something. I don't even know if I talked about anything worth learning, but I hope something great happened while we spent this time together. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel wherever you're listening to this, whether it's podcast or YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe so you get a notification every single time we post a new episode. I will be back next week, but until then, remember, I love you and I'm rooting for you.